Yeah, we're live. Okay. Just had to triple check that. All right. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Had to sort out some kinks there, you know. I blame the tech crew. That's me. On this one. So anyway, like I was saying before, let me know what you guys think of the match. Who's your man of the match? Who uh who stood out for you? Who wasn't so great? Does this change your opinion on the whole Amram in versus Amram out situation? Where do you stand on that? Let me know all of that. But before we get into any kind of deep discussion here, let me just run through very quickly the stats for the game for those of you who are, into that kind of thing. Manchester United 2, Sunderland nil. Mason Mount had an 8th minute goal, followed by a 31st minute goal from Benjamin Šeško. The starting lineup was Lamens in goal. It was Euro, Delit, Shaw across the back three, Diallo, Casemiro, Bruno, Dallo in the midfield, and then Mbumo and Mount as the 10s, and Šeško as the sole striker. These stats were as follows: 15 shots for United, 8 for Sunderland, 6 for United, 3 for Sunderland on target. Possession was slightly in favor of United, 51%. 51%. Pass accuracy fell a bit to 78% for United, 79% for Sunderland. Fouls were about even, 10 and 12. And corner kicks were about even, 2 and 3. So, uh, where do I start with that one? I mean, honestly, we started out, I was nervous. I was nervous for sure. I wasn't sure how we were going to perform. Um, I wasn't sure how Lammers was going to perform. There were a couple of nervy plays. Um, what's his name? Drawing a blank right now. I think it was Traore from Sunderland had a chance through on goal, but he whiffed it. There were a couple other times too um, where Sunderland could have really hurt us in the opening probably 10 minutes, I would say. But then we started to get our foot on the ball. We started to settle in. Lamens came out and had his first touch or so the crowd got behind him on that. And then from there, we just started to really go for it, right? We started to really exploit down the wings of Sunderland. They left a lot of space there. So we definitely, Ahmad and Dallo in the first half did really well there to get down the wings to threaten Sunderland. Um, and of course, we got our goals that way, right? Now, the one thing that I will nitpick is I still don't like how our midfield looks. I think we got away with it a bit today, but honestly, I didn't like how our midfield looked because when our back line gets the ball, Bruno and Casemiro kind of do this sideways run, then they run this way. It's not even a run, it's a jog, right? And it's so easy for the midfielders to mark that out. And it just forces us to either go to the wing where we're kind of already trapped, right? Or it forces us to go long with some low percentage pass. If you watch the match, you get what I'm trying to explain here. So I think that there needs to be a bit more impetus with our midfielders getting open, getting the ball, um, you know, quickly playing a 1-2 and then getting up the pitch. Because like think about it like this, right? If Delict has the ball, Bruno kind of makes a dynamic cut to get open, like a dynamic run to curve around, gets the ball, one times it to Casemiro, who then is able to step forward. He pulls one of the center backs forward to challenge him. That then allows either Šeško or Mbumo or Mount or whoever to kind of peel off, plays that through ball, and we're in, right? I've seen teams like City, Arsenal, uh, Madrid. I mean, I've seen so many of the top teams do that game in, game out. And that's one thing that we are still missing. Liverpool too, right? And I mean, look, I'll even throw Palace in there, right? Since people are talking about Oliver Glasner taking over the role and, saying that, he could work, but he also plays a 3-4-2-1 or whatever it is, wherever it is. Um, so, you know, yeah, like we really need to sort out the midfield. Um, that's what worries me. That's what worries me. I'm glad for the result. I'm glad for 2-0. I'm glad to go into the international break with this positivity, not only winning 2-0, but also keeping the clean sheet. That's very important too, because it's one thing to win a game like 3-1 or 3-2, but when you win it like 3-0, I know we didn't win 3-0 today. I'm just throwing out numbers, but when you win it like 3-0, or in that case, today 2-0, you just feel that much more confident in your whole team and your teammates. You feel that much more, I would say, dare I say, invincible, right? Like you feel confident across the whole team. Even if you're a striker or a winger or whatever, you're not in the defensive part of the team, you still feel good about that clean sheet. And so it was important that we kept one today. So I'm glad that we are able to go into the break with that good feeling. Um, but like I said, I just worry about the midfield a bit. There's just still not enough legs in there, not enough dynamic movement, um, from my opinion, to allow us to kind of play through the middle or play out wide. I feel like because there's not much movement in the midfield from Casemiro and Bruno, in terms of when we kind of had the ball across our back line, especially when we're further in our, I don't want to say our defensive third, but kind of when we're in the middle of the pitch, right? Because when we get to the attacking third, that's when Bruno suddenly comes alive, right? But when we're kind of in the middle of the pitch, or even just a little bit further back, not quite all the way up to our own goal, but just a little bit further back, I feel like Bruno and Casemiro don't really want the ball. And so they kind of just, dare I say, hide a little bit behind the opposing defenders, opposing players, which then forces, Delit or Shaw or Euro to kind of go wide or to play some kind of low percentage ball forward. Um, and granted, Sunderland were giving us a lot of freedom down the width, so it worked out today. But I've seen other games where it hasn't worked out. So that's just my little bit of criticism there. Um, and this also still could stand to get a few more players forward. Um, we did better with it today, and we were better about being on the front foot, that sense of urgency that Amram has talked about. I saw that more today. So kudos to him and putting the right players in there to promote that sense of urgency. I think Mount was part of that as well. Mount, when he's fit, he offers a lot of energy, that sense of urgency, and I think that was the smart move to put him in from the start today, to be able to influence that. So credit to Amram for that. Um, and yeah, I think again it was a good solid performance. It was a good debut for Lemons. He looked commanding back there. He looked intense back there, right? He didn't look like a deer in headlights, like I've seen Bayendir or Onana look. Like Lemons looked like he will shout at you in your face, like if you're not being tough across the back line. So he instilled confidence in me today. I liked what I saw. I liked the saves that he made. He committed to his saves. He committed to coming out. He has that bit of fire about him that I like, right? He has that bit of fire that I like. Um, so some of the ways I saw him shouting, and I know this is a big, big, big shout, but like gave me a little bit of like an Oliver Kahn feeling. I don't know if you're old enough to even remember who that is. Maybe I'm dating myself here, but like some of the ways that he just kind of barked, I saw a little bit of Oliver Kahn in there. Um, and I'm like, yeah, I like that from the goalkeeper, right? Um, so yeah, good performance today. I mean, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Did you like what you saw? Do you think that do you think we got lucky? Do you think we got away with one? Do you think, let me know what you think in the chat. Um, I'm going to just take a quick scan around the good old Twitter sphere. Actually, before I do that, let me check the other matches really quickly. I know some folks are interested in the other scores for the day, as am I. So let me go through those. So yes, Spurs beat Leeds 2-1. Arsenal finished the match 2-0 against West Ham. Still Chelsea Liverpool to come here in about 15 minutes. So yeah, everyone that won today should have won, but really interested in that Chelsea Liverpool match. I might do that one live. I might just watch it on my own. We'll see. But yeah, let me know what you guys think here. I say a good 3 points. I say kudos to Amram for getting the decisions right, in terms of starting 11. I feel like maybe Dallo and Dorgu were kind of interchangeable. But we got the 3 points. So if you get 3 points, I kind of feel like you got it right. Right. So I'll give them the credit for that. And we move forward into the next match against Liverpool, which is on the, I think, 19th, I think. So anyway, for that, please be on the lookout. I'm doing a match preview, a match watch, post-match discussion, all the usual stuff for that Liverpool match. But in between, we've got some exciting women's teams matches. So I am going to do the game on October 8th, where the women take on Vålerenga in the UEFA Women's Champions League. So please stay tuned for that. If you don't want to miss anything, please do subscribe, please like, please share. And I'm going to get out of here, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.